Hey, Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Here to deliver another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Of course, double honors to the elders and salutations to the brothers and sisters that magnify, this ministry on the four corners of the earth and have given their body as a living sacrifice. Today, this lesson is to understand that you got to come up on your own, man. It's good to have people you learn from and teachers, and brothers that you can fellowship with and go out and do the work. But at the end of the day, we must walk this walk alone. So let's jump into this thing. I'm at the book of Philippines, chapter 2. Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12. And it reads, "Wherefore, my brethren, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation in fear and trembling." So you see that? The Lord is letting us know that we got to work out our own salvation in fear and trembling, man. We can't put our salvation on another man. We can't depend on another man to get us in the kingdom of heaven, man. The Lord is counting on you, to get it right. So let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. Chapter 2, verse 15. And it reads, "Study to show thyself approved unto God." So you got to study to show yourself approved unto God. No man can study for you. You can't lean on a bandwagon of another man and think you're going to enter into the gates. Because there's going to come a day where you may not have your brother, where you may not have the internet, where you may not have the pleasures of going to camp. And everything is going to be based off what you got up there in your head and what you have in your notes. So you got to study to show thyself approved. Read too, man. And understand this book. It says, "A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." So you want to be that workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Who's well versed, well rounded in the scriptures, has a nice understanding. You can divide this word. It's presentable. You don't need no one there with you to do it. So let's go to Sirach. Chapter 6, verse 14. It says, "A faithful friend is a strong defense." So yeah, there's men that will be a brother and will be a strong defense. And may be there for you in the time of counsel or the time of need, or maybe right now can help you with a precept or a lesson, and help you gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But there's going to come a time where you're going to desire to see a man, to see a friend. You may be left alone like Will Smith, in I Am Legend, man. Or like Denzel Washington in the book of Eli. So now it's okay to enjoy the pleasures of a faithful friend because it is a strong defense. And it says, "And he that has found such in one has found a treasure, right? Because there's, all right, a lot of positive benefits that you can gain from having a faithful friend. You can study with, you can pray with, you can fast, all right? You can go out and, keep the feast days and camp and, all of those beautiful things. The Most High may strip that from us, all right? You may be stuck in a city somewhere where it's just, or you on a road where it's just you, man. And everything, that you have obtained in this truth has got to be up in your head. Okay, so let's go. So Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 10, it reads, for if they fall, Salakia, let's go to verse 9. Two are better than one because they have a great reward for their labor. So there's that's the number game. The Most High is letting us know that two is always better than one when you out laboring. All right. It says, for if they fall, the one will lift his fellow up. All right. Because if you got a friend, a faithful friend or a brother, a man you consider your brother in this walk, he can be there to lift you up, man. Or you can be there to lift him up when one falls. And it says, but woe to him that is alone when he is fallen, for he has not another to help him up. But the Lord said, destruction to him that is by himself, because he don't have a man there to help him lift himself up. But if you, all right, learn his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, then in the end times, you will be stable, man. You will be equipped and ready for the elements to come upon you, right? Pursuing to Isaiah chapter 33, one of my favorite verses, man, right? And wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of thy times and the strength of your salvation. The fear of the Lord should be his treasure. So in the end times, you can't depend on friends. You won't be able to depend on a man or a woman. You're going to have to depend on his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for Yahweh Shai to even consider. Because that will be your stability when all hell breaks loose anyway. And that's the strength of your salvation, because you built up in the spirit and you rooted to where you won't be easily thrown off. And it says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. You see that? Because when you fear the Lord, you seeking out that book. And through you seeking out that book, right, you'll be, all right, found more precious than gold. But because you've kept the charge. All right. Let's go to Romans. It's the book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 5. It says, one man esteemeth one day above another. Another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. You have to be fully persuaded in your own mind. Meaning you have to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for your own. So you have to go study. You got to watch the breakdowns. You got to read. You got to pray. You got to put time into this thing. Right? Because right now it's practice. When all hell break loose, it's game time. And you want to be fully persuaded in your own mind that you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because if you don't, you're not going to make it. And this path is not for the weak. All right? You got to have your foundation built upon a rock and not sand. Because the time is coming where you may have no one else around to lean on but the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And you're going to have to be able to fast, pray, read, teach, all right, yourself. And ultimately, you're going to have that faith, man. Okay? Because we got to walk this path alone. Right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Salakia. Book of 2nd Ezra. All right? Chapter 7. Let's start at 6. There is another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and it is full of all good things. That's speaking about the kingdom of heaven, man. That's that city that we all want to obtain. Verse 7 says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and it is set in a dangerous place to fall. You see that? So the interest thereof is narrow, and is set upon a dangerous place to fall, man. Meaning you have to walk alone. It says, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both. So there's only one path. All right, and that's the truth. That path is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's the only path, man. Even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. So only one man can go there at once. Meaning you're going to have to walk that narrow path by yourself. No one's going to be there to hold your hand, man. All right? You can't depend on nobody else when you walk in that narrow path. All right? Yahweh Shai had to walk that narrow path. Did not the disciples book out on them, man? Let's go there. Let's go to Matthew. Right? Salakia. Let's go to Matthew 24. Or Salakia 26. All right? And let's go all the way down to verse 48. Let's start there. Or is it 49? I'll just read it from 48. He that betrayed him gave him a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Behold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. So this is about the time Yahushua is getting delivered, man. Right? To be persecuted. And it reads, and behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the Most High's priest and smote off his ear. Right now, I mean, we know that was Peter, man. Peter is ready to get down for the Lord. All right, and it reads on and say, then said Yahushua unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So he letting Peter know, put that sword up, man. Verse 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot pray? I can now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels. But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled? That thus it must be. And in Slakia, verse 55, in that same hour, Yahushua to the multitudes, right? So that same hour is getting ready, man. Are ye come up as against a thief with swords and stakes for to take me? I sit daily with you to teach in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. Right? But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. So Yahushua already knew all of this was going to take place. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. So all the disciples forsook Yahushua and they fled, man. They all booked on Yahweh Shai. So let's go down to 64, because even Peter, man, 69 say, now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, thou also hast with Yahweh Shai in Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. Peter said, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that, man. So he's denying the Lord. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto him, that were there, Salakia, this fellow was also with Yahweh Shai the Nazareth. And again, he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. So look, people pointing him out like, yo, why you just getting down with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai? When you getting down with the Lord? Right? And Peter denied the Lord twice right here. All right? 73, it says, and after a while came unto him that he stood up and said to Peter, surely thou shalt are one of them, for thy speech betrayeth thee. Then began he to cuss, to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock grew. So Peter denied Yahweh Shai twice, man. All right. And I'm going to get one more precept to end this breakdown. Right? So even the disciples denied Yahweh Shai, and they booked on him, man. Not saying that your brothers is going to do the same to you today, but you may be caught in a scenario to where you may not have your brothers with you. And you got to carry on alone, man. All right, so this is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 27. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice, right? Because why? Because when all hell break loose, man, you may be out there alone, man, for days, man, for weeks, right? 28, it says, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick gloves and in the clefts of the rock. All right. So we may be left alone, man, in these cities all by ourselves and having to fend for ourselves. And we're going to have to keep, we got to keep your crown, man. Keep the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you have been taught. So through the spirit and power, I hope that was edifying. All right. All praises to the Heavenly Father. All right. A mighty shalom to those that came by, man. Shalom.